Hello and welcome to This One Thing, a daily video devotional coming to you from First Presbyterian Church of Fort Lauderdale. And together we'll be looking at one text and choosing one thing for you to consider. And we hope that you find this a thought-provoking, encouraging part of your day. Here at the church, we close most, if not all, of our meetings with prayer. And as a pastor, I would prefer that another one of our participants or team members actually pray. And years of student ministry have made me very comfortable with two things when asking if anyone is willing to pray. Silence and putting people on the spot. I believe that prayer is an essential part of discipleship, of growing a relationship with God. It's because in prayer we are learning to talk to God. The book of Psalms provides us with example after example of what it looks like to speak openly and authentically to God. The late Presbyterian pastor Eugene Peterson writes in his book Answering God that Psalms are not provided to teach us about God, but to train us in responding to Him. Hear that again. The Psalms are not provided to teach us about God, but to train us in responding to Him. That is, they show us what communication and relationship with God can look like. So our text today comes, not surprisingly, from the book of Psalms, Psalm 130. And in it, the psalmist writes this: "Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications." And the psalmist continues later, "I wait for the Lord, my soul waits. And in his word I hope. My soul waits for the Lord." The language expresses this depth of emotion, a certain rawness. Not surprisingly, Eugene Peterson's The Message is even more raw in its paraphrase of the same psalm. We read, "Help, God. The bottom has fallen out of my life. Master, hear my cry for help. Listen hard. Open your ears and listen to my cries for mercy. I pray to God, and my life is a prayer. And I wait for what he'll say and do. My life's on the line before God, my Lord." One of the challenges with praying that students routinely shared was I don't know what to say. And maybe you felt that too. And I think in many ways that we pastors, we mess it up for people. So often our prayers in church can give the impression, the false impression, that there has to be some perfect cadence or polished language. Peterson writes later in the same book that abstraction, that beautiful ideas, fine thoughts, they are all an enemy to prayer. Authentic prayer begins when we stub our toes on a rock, get drenched in a rainstorm, get slapped in the face by an enemy, or run into the tree that has been in our path for so long that we have ceased to see it, and now stand back in a bruised and wondering awe before it. In other words, prayer begins when we're at our most vulnerable, imperfect, and most unpolished state. One of the most beautiful prayers that I have heard recently. It came at the end of a team meeting just a couple of months ago. And it was at the height of local protests here in town. One of our members said, God, we're having some trouble down here. And when we're having trouble, we talk to you. It's clear. It's raw. It's unpolished. Because friends, here's the one thing. In a world that seems to demand that we present ourselves as having it all together, the Psalms invite us. The Psalms invite us into a vocabulary of vulnerability in responding and communicating to the Creator of the universe. And that's good news. Be safe. Be well. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you soon.